I made a video about the Metcalf power station attack a few days ago and focused solely on the timeline of events. It's one of the most significant attacks on infrastructure in modern-day America, and it's barely talked about by many preppers. Interesting, considering that it's precisely a potential grid-down scenario that people are supposed to prepare for. It's also very rarely even talked about on the national news. There are some different theories about the attacker's identities. Is it a disgruntled employee, angry at the state of the substation? Is it a government-backed red cell attack designed to test the boundaries and capabilities of the system to highlight deficiencies? Or is it a case of locals pissed off at PG&E? Let's really get into this topic and examine each of these three popular theories and break them down together. According to inspectors, the attacker or attackers focused on targeting equipment that would disable the substation, but wouldn't cause any components to explode. Much of the equipment at the station was old, the security was lacking, and the general blasé attitude to improving the station must have set someone off. Furthermore, this person or group seemed to know the location of the security cameras. The only indication of any human presence were the flashlight signals. Another security breach 16 months after the attack finally resulted in changes being made. More cameras, more lighting, concrete fencing and barriers, and several unmentioned upgrades were done to the facility. However, it does seem like a lot of risk for a PG&E employee or contractor to go through with a plan like this just to stick it to a terrible company. The red cell concept has been around for a while. Readers of Dick Marcinko's books will know that this name brings up images of a group of highly trained personnel whose duties include finding and exploiting security weaknesses in order to come up with countermeasures. Marcinko's original group was comprised of former SEAL Team 6 members and one Force Recon Marine. The mantle of the job passed down to the CIA. As threats evolved with the War on Terror, the red cell attacks would be sophisticated, coordinated, and highly funded. It's a way to cause mayhem and then have a get-out-of-jail-free card at the end of the operation. In fact, Marcinko's group kidnapped a security guard and proceeded to torture him. The substation attackers escaped a minute before police arrived, wiped down their ammo, had signals, and targeted specific components. So this would be the perfect type of group to lay this down on, considering not even the FBI themselves declared the event not the result of terrorism. Lots of security professionals said nothing but highly trained individuals could pull this off. So it must be so, right? Not exactly. There's no doubt the individual had to be trained. But to an elite level, the ammo may have been wiped down before being used, but it was far from requiring expert-level knowledge. Even a basic knowledge of certain procedures would lead you to conclude that's a good idea. The ammunition is also 7.62 by 39, an AK round, hardly a sniper round, which is why I never really like calling this a sniper attack. Experienced shooters can go through 100 rounds extremely quick. One shooter with 10-round magazines, or 110 and 330-round magazines could have done the trick. It was probably an AK-style rifle because of the lack of stripper clips. If this person or group didn't mind leaving behind their brass, they would have left some stripper clips behind as well. In addition, old surplus Soviet ammo would be difficult to trace. There was also just enough ambient light to target what they needed to target. No amount of crazy equipment was needed. A highly trained individual also won't mark firing positions with a pile of rocks. They would understand how to use terrain features or pre-plan the perfect spot without leaving much of a trace at all. As far as how they were able to leave before the police arrived, someone probably posted up the road looking for police, maybe one on either end of the road. Cell phones are a thing. In addition to where they could have staged, the neighborhood is only about a mile away, and up over a ridge there's a local ranch that hosts weddings and group events. There's lots of ways your average Jim Bob and a partner can double back after being warned by friends, like walking through any of the many routes leading away from the area, or simply parking off the hardball on the northbound side and then hopping back on once police started moving in. So there's possibly a minimum of 3 individuals in this group, maybe 4. One watching for cops a mile up on the southbound lane, maybe one in a similar position on the northbound lane, one guy to signal that the station looks clear of people and witnesses, and one shooter to just go ham on the transformer. One of these people would have to be an insider, or at least understand how the station works, seeing as how the cables of communication were cut, electrical and communication knowledge, and informed targeting, combined with a friend who has an AK-style rifle with a basic knowledge of marksmanship and a buddy to watch their backs, would be all that's needed. No special high-speed training required except common sense and common weapons. Or maybe that's exactly what a red cell operator wants you to think. So until the next video, watch out for your neighbors, watch out for each other, be good, stay safe, and have a good one.